Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League Spike Magazine Trophy. We're in week number 7 of 9, and we have not quite a doubleheader for you tonight, but 2 games nonetheless. And we're going to get started with a couple of Elven teams. We're going to have the World of Cheese versus the NC Snakes Elven Union. Elven Union versus Dark Elves. We got James Like Snacks facing off against Moob here in Division A. This team is taking a meeting. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the 2 rosters this evening. It's a tad short. It's a skosh short on the roster. Clivey says 4 journeymen tonight. Yes, indeed. In Division A, currently in first place is MAML Nightmare, coached by Festoon. They're a Necro team. They're 4-2-0. They're followed by the team up tonight, the NC Snakes. They're the visiting team. They're Moob's Dark Elf team. They are 4-1-0, and they are followed by the Tizork Savage Boys, coached by Tizzle Bizzle. They're in third. They're an Orc team, also undefeated here with a record of 3-3-0. Over in Division B, in first place are the Pip Stars, Pips Pippies team. That's Dead Fred's Lizardman team, though, really. But it's Pips Pippies team. They're 5-0-1, and they are followed very closely behind by the Believe Broncos, coached by BB Nut. They're a Nurgle team. They're 4-1-0. And Odin and Snuffle, coached by Clypheus. They're in third place. They're a Norse team. They are 3-2-1. And over in Division C, in first place will be the Goodest Boys Strike Back. They've stayed at the top of this division for most of this competition. This is Old Gamers Mike's Necromantic Horror team. They're 4-2-0, and they're followed by Philosopher's Song at Spire's Lizardman team. They're 4-0-1, and the Fishy Fiends will be up tonight. They're in third place. They're a Chaos Renegades team. They're 3-1-1. The home team for this evening are the Broken and Battered World of Cheese. Just 9 players on the roster, and of those 9, 2 will be out with injuries this week. That means just 7 of the rosters are going to be starting. Cheddar the Thrower is injured as well, but will be playing tonight. 2 blitzers on the roster, 3 catchers, a bunch of linemen, most of which are going to be journeymen on this roster. Their TV's 895,000 gold. They're going to have to pick up 4 journeymen. That's going to bring their effective team value up to 1,135,000 gold. They have 5 dedicated fans and 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Dark Elves of the NC Snakes this evening. This is Move's Dark Elf team. They have a full 11 on the roster. Nobody's injured. Everybody's starting. Their team value is 1,380,000 gold. That's 245,000 gold in petty cash. Going back to the Pro Elf team this evening, 2 Witch Elves, 4 Blitzers, and a bunch of linemen on this roster. 1 dedicated fan. 1 Apothecary, 7 dedicated fans. That's a lot of money to be earned tonight. And 3 rerolls. How are these 2 teams gonna play tonight? We'll talk about the Dark Elves first. They're gonna do what Dark Elves do. They are the most resilient Elven faction in the game of Blood Bowl. You can say they have an AV of 9+ across the board, save for those Witch Elves, where most elves have AV 8+. 4 blitzers on this roster as well is a great boon to the Dark Elf team. MA7, they have block. 2 of them are blodgers. 3 of them are blodgers. 1 has guard, and 1 of the blodgers is a sidestepper as well. Very fantastic roster. Moccasin number 2 has picked up, has randomed into tackle. Tackle's a great skill to go into the matchup here tonight. And of course, they have a Fowler in core number 2. He's the dirty player with the dodge skill. He's wearing number 12 this evening. The 2 Witch Elves, they have a lot of speed. They have Frenzy. 1 has block, 1 has tackle. They also have jump up. That means they're never losing 3 MA when they get knocked down. They can block when they're knocked down, provided they get through a roll. And with Frenzy, not only can they surf and cover those sidelines, but they can get those hits that they're looking for to try to remove some players. Very, very solid roster for the NC Snakes tonight. This is the quote-unquote running elves. This is they not really are not really going to pass the ball. Of course they can with this high agility of a 2+. Passing now with 4+, a little more risky, but so long as he keeps it to say a quick pass, not too much of a problem. But he's not going to do that, and the reason he's not going to do it is because he doesn't have to do that with this roster. This roster with those 2 Witch Elves and the 4 Blitzers, they can control the pitch, they can open up lanes, and they can get to where they need to be, whether that's on offense or defense. That means they don't have to dip into that very risky option of passing. They don't need to worry about rolling 17 dice. They can keep that ball grounded, open up lanes that way, and it works out just fine for this team. They're going to be up against a team, by contrast, They are the passing elves, right? World of Cheese here. They have a thrower. They have a bunch of catchers. They're strength 3 catchers, fantastic catchers. Very expensive though. They have the catch skill, of course, but they also have nerves of steel, which means they don't worry about being marked when they're trying to catch that ball. They don't worry about being marked when they're trying to pass the ball either, but really the passing's down to this thrower with the pass skill. The problem is the thrower has a broken arm, and now their pass skill has gone from a 2+ to a 3+. It's got Mr. Rocker Crocker says, where's Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Solidus Snake, and Naked Snake on the Dark Elf team? Don't forget Venomous Snake, but you know what, Mr. Rocker Crocker? You get 10 points for that. I respect the Metal Gear knowledge. But these catchers very fast. MA8 is fantastic, and they're strength 3, which is phenomenal for a catcher, 2 of which are dodgers as well. The thrower is the big problem on this roster with that PA3+. Boy, well, really, I guess the big problem is he's down 4 players. So that's going to be a big problem. Well, maybe not a big problem. He's going to pick up 4 journeymen. They all have an edge of 2. They're all going to have the loner nega trait. They're probably going to be thrown on the line, and when they're thrown on the line, they're there to eat up space, to take hits, to exert tackle zones. So I think he'll be fine in that regard. But really, none of these linemen have any skills. That's going to be a big problem for this team tonight. And that thrower is a huge problem because this team having I'm going to say reliable in air quotes, but having a reliable passing game means that when they're on offense, they can threaten both the running game and the passing game. That spreads the defense thin and makes them weaker against your offense, and that gives you more options to move the ball down the pitch. If you're going to threaten the pass, they have to spread out to cover it, which means they're weaker against the run. Then you can run. If they try to cinch up on your cage, you threaten the pass, they have to spread out again. So that is a big, valuable strategic asset that this team has, but with all the injuries on this roster tonight and not a lot of skills spread out among these players, everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. He's going to have a big problem here tonight, unless, of course, Trip Tango, welcome to the stream. Trip Tango says you can cycle that thrower. Yes, indeed. The thrower with level 1 is going to cost him 75k. He's got 80 in the bank. Could pick up a new thrower that would be just down 5k in petty cash, bringing it down to 240. That's the other thing he has to worry about tonight, is how to spend that 24,000. I was going to say 24,000k. That's a lot of money. 24,000 gold. I think for this matchup, you're up against the more resilient, the more bashy Dark Elves. They've got those 4 blitzers. They have an AV of 9+. You want to lean more into what you do best, and that's that passing game, that running game. An Eldril Sidewinder, I think, would be a great pickup for this roster. That's another player with an MA of 8. You've got another Nerves of Steel player. You get on the ball with a 3 free movement on a kick or a pass. He, of course, has catch as well as dodge, but also this skill right here, Hypnotic Gaze. Hypnotic Gaze means he can roll an agility roll, and so long as he passes that roll, he basically negates the tackle zones of an opposing piece. This is another way to open up the lane, right? You bring a player with Hypno Gaze in, you negate somebody, and now the defense has to say to themselves, okay, what am I going to do? Am I just going to double up in my defense or double cage in my offense to prevent this Hypno Gaze blitz, or to prevent this Hypno Gaze from opening up the lane while I'm on defense and he just runs through? I think that'd be a solid pickup. Of course, it would put it would put a target on the back of Eldril Sidewinder, but I think, for my money, that would be who I pick up. We'll see what James Like Snacks is going to pick up here in the game tonight. Look, we've all been there where our teams have been decimated and ruined, but I don't think they are down and out at all. Again, 4 journeymen, 3 on the line. You don't have to worry about them too much. That leaves you with 1 loner with an easy dodge. I don't think it's going to be a big problem for this roster at all. I think that passer is the bigger problem, and we'll see if James Like Snacks actually drops or fires the existing passer and picks up a new one so you can get that very important 2+ on the passing ability. Clear skies for the game tonight. I've got a makeshift telestrator. my old code broke with the new version of OBS. I haven't had time to fix it, but I came up with a solution anyway, so We will still have the Telestrator of Doom. All right. Welcome on to the stream here this evening. 2 games for you this evening. The other one is scheduled to start 2.5 hours from now. That's going to leave us with probably 30 minutes in between each game. I don't know what we'll do about that yet. We might keep streaming. We might cut it off. We'll see. I'm leaning towards keeping streaming, and then we'll watch a replay or something. World of Cheese in the yellow naturally with the NC Snakes. Look at all that money they're going to make tonight. 10 fan factor for the Snakes. Oh, it's going to be Horkin Heart Ripper for the World of Cheese. What's his stat line look like? I don't know if multi-block. We'll see. I have never seen Horkin Heart Ripper played ever. That's not to say he's bad. I've never seen it played. Looks like a stab piece. World Cheese wins the coin toss. And they're going to choose to be on offense to start this game. Let's check out this star player. MA7, strength of 3, add to 2, PA4. Fine. Has stab, has shadowing, and has multi-block. So a dodger as well. So I mean he's Jack the Ripper. So we'll see if he can make use of that star player in the game this evening. All right. So a 3-4-4 on the defense with the line shifted to the right, and now the World of Cheese has set up their offense in this opening half of the game this evening. Horkin Heart Ripper looks to be in the center position currently. So that stab skill, that allows you to, it's kind of like a chainsaw just without the +3 and without a risk of a turnover. So you just go straight for the armor roll. And with multi-block, he can stab multiple times. Seven on the line for the offense. 1 back to receive. It's going to be the thrower. Did not replace the thrower in this matchup. And it is an onside kick. Brilliant coaching is going to go to the World of Cheese. They're going to pick up a 4th reroll. And that ball kicked to their 2-yard line. They've got to defend it right out of the gate. Here we go. Turn number 1 underway. And they get a knockdown here on the 2-die block against Taipan number 2. Tries to stab against rat number 3. Doesn't work out. Doesn't break armor. Again, that's just a straight armor roll. Now a 2-die block against rat number 3. Gets the knockdown here. Looking for a 9+. Got a lot of work done today, but I feel like I got nothing done. I don't know why, because objectively I got a lot of work done. Yeah, has to protect this ball right out of the gate. Onside kick means this ball is going to be fought for here on turn 1, unless he picks this ball up and runs away. But really the only effective way to do that right now would be a dodge by the catcher. Catch skill does not help you when you try to pick the ball up off the ground, only when you try to catch a pass. 2-die blitz over in the left wide zone, gets a push against corn number 2. Clifey says, my wife asked, how in the world you work and host 113 games per week? Efficiency. It's called not having kids. That's the trick. 2+ pickup here. Works out. Well done. And then a rush to get this ball to safety. Turn 1 now for the NC Snakes. Game number 2 this evening will be between the Fishy Fiends and Philosopher's Song. This is a Division C matchup. That'll be Ajax versus Spire, Chaos Renegades versus Lizards. Iron Cynic, welcome to the stream. Says, is that a pass-busted thrower? It is indeed. Clifey says, that's a good trick. Yep. Ajax the Riot says, that's me! Welcome to the stream. Very excited for the Octopath Traveler 0 announcement. Oh, and the new Ninja Gaiden came out today. I haven't bought it yet, but I'll check that out as well. Good knockdown on the blitz here. Black Mamba number 2. That's right. He's the champion at handing that ball off. 3 marks currently on Feta, the number 5 catcher. Trying to mark out that catcher, no doubt. Shifting the linebackers around to try to get some coverage, and now turn number 2 for the World of Cheese. Break BB, welcome to the stream. This is you, baby. SB Beaver says catchers only exist to be murdered. Not if you can't catch. Not if you can't catch them, man. Oh, Gamer Mike, welcome to the stream. Oh, Gamer Mike says Black Mamba number 1 is now a kicker for the Goodest Boys. Is that what we call the trade via death? You died. All right, you can have them, I guess. World of Cheese repositioning here. Taking a couple of marks. Where's this ball going to end up? It's going to shift laterally to the left or punch its way through to the right. Took a mark here against Snake Plissken, number 2. Here's the 2-die blitz with the block skill. Gets both standing result out of this unless a reroll is spent. James Like Snacks will hang on to that reroll that Nuffle provided. Failed 2+ dodge over in the left wide zone. We'll reroll this one for sure, but Snake Eyes the roll. Turn 2 for the Snakes. You always fail the 2+. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, to be fair, even with the stat bust, that's still the best passer on the pitch, only because he has a reroll still. Fair enough. I think you're right. I think you're not only right because of the reroll, but I think everyone else is a 4+. Two-die block against the Journeyman Hilday. Gets a knockdown here, looking for an 8+ against these linemen. There's the armor break. Yes. Yes, sir. What was that sound effect? He was like, one-man player advantage now for the Snakes. Blitz on the right side against the star player will be a push. Man, he injured them with the gleam, the glisten of the sun on his boot. Wow. Ajax says, was that a loner? Yes, it was. Clifey and Mr. Rocker Crocker say the Blitzers are also passing a 3+. Fair enough. 2-die block back at center field here. A Pow against the number 9 lineman who will stay on the pitch because he's a hero, a trooper. Why is everybody's arm broken? 4 seconds left on the clock for the World of Cheese. I'm sorry, not for the World of Cheese, for the Dark Elf team. And now it is turn 3 for the World of Cheese. So they've set up a wide offensive line here. They have the ball on their own 4-yard line over in the right wide zone. Horkin Heartripper repositions to take a mark against Cottonmouth number 2 and Corn number 2. Cottonmouth a blodger. Clive says, have you seen elf arms? It's amazing that there are elves that have intact arms. All right, let's try the hodgepodged Telestrator. Oh, this is difficult. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So that's a circle that doesn't show up. Perfect. And there's a line that doesn't show up. Perfect. Why doesn't this work anymore? I hate everything. The Telestrator of imagination. There we go. There we go. Look at that. We've got lines. I think, let's see. You know what? We can't do it on this team. I think you are going to die right here. Oh, this is so much harder than it used to be. Two-die blitz on the left side here. Gets a dodge push out of it. Yeah, I gotta fix the code for the Telestrator. Two-die block gets Rattler, got the pal he was looking for here. Rattler, a blodger. Needs a pal unless he has the tackle skill to negate the dodge skill. Ball's been shifted from the right wide zone to the left wide zone. Turn 3 now for the Snakes. Snakes applying a little bit of pressure here with these blitzers, but still keeping the formation in check. World of Cheese just biding their time, looking to open up a lane here. Not threatening the pass, though. Minute 20 left on the clock here. And see Snakes finding a couple of their players marked out at the moment, trying to find a way to maybe crack open this cage and get them back into this drive. Calliope's asked, I have almost 50,000 gold in the bank at this point. Should I get another team reroll and go up to 4, or is that just a waste of TV? I wonder. For a Norse team? I don't know. I think 4 might be okay. Tizzle Bizzle, welcome to the stream. Tizzle Bizzle rooting for the Dark Elf defense. Trip Tangle says when Morg's Mighty Blow +2 is fired, it can definitely provoke tilting. Yes, it can. or just pure glee if you're the one who hired him. More pressure being applied on the cage here. 2 more players come in on the pressure. Two-die blitz against Feta. Breaks. Wow, look at that kick. Look at that kick. 2-man player advantage now for the Dark Elf team. Again, the Dark Elf team, that's the bashier team in this matchup. Clavius, thank you very much for the bits. Ajax rooting for the offense. Two-die blitz against Blue. The number 3 blitzer is going to get a pal here and is looking for a 9+. Look at that. Look at that. Has found a way to get the other 2 players back into this drive here. Two-die block against the star players. Double pals. Gets a stun out of it. Horkin Heartripper remains on the pitch. Heavy pressure against the Pro Elves. Another armor break is another removal. That is 3 removed from the pitch from the World of Cheese. They had just 7 on the roster to start this game. And now they're down to 8 on the pitch. Turn 4 underway. Iron Cynic says, who is the star player? That would be Horkin Heartripper here. MA7, strength of 3. Has multi-block, stab, dodge, and shadowing. Also has leap. And his once per game ability lets him re-roll a failed stab roll. Moob doing a great job here of applying pressure to the cage while still keeping players in the second. Oh god, I'm gonna try the Telestrator again. Here we go. While still keeping. There we go. While still here we go. While still keeping players in the secondary, applying pressure with players that are here. Here, oh, this is so difficult. Here, 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 and here. So these guys are sweeping in on the cage. And normally when you apply this pressure on the cage, you can find yourself in a position where the rest of your players are out of position in such a way that if the ball breaks away, you don't have anybody that can really defend. But Moob doing a really good job here of keeping most of the formation in check. That's right, Telestrator of Doom. 2-9 block against Moccasin number 2 is going to be a push. With 3 seconds left on the clock for the World of Cheese. Flappy says, ironically, my armor isn't actually any better than these elf teams. Probably worse than the Dark Elves. Absolutely worse than the Dark Elves. Cage shifts back to the right here for the Pro Elf team. Slowly creeping backwards. They're now on their own 6-yard line. But now they're starting to bunch up, and that means these Dark Elves might start to get... There's spreading out a little bit with the thrower over on the right side. Just trying to control pitch to prevent these Dark Elves from bunching up on the cage and then really starting to turn up the heat. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. A mark taken against the thrower, Cheddar, over in the right wide zone. Lots of marks on the cage now. The 2 players on the front left of this cage here, they are being marked by some blitzers as well. Rattler and Copperhead. .65 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Another blitzer repositions over to the right wide zone. So that's 3 of the 4 blitzers right in front of that cage. And now here comes the frenzy. Frenzy blitz for the surf attempt. 2-die blitz by Sidewinder. Gets a push. Will follow up. 2 dice. There it is. Well done. The thrower has been surfed off the pitch. 4-man player advantage now for the Dark Elf team. Whoa! No! Murdered by the crowd! Sidewinder on the surf. You got to be careful in those 2 columns near the sidelines when you're up against frenzy pieces, because it's very easy for them to surf you off the pitch. But then the crowd got a little too rough and murdered the player for coming off the pitch. Second quarter begins with the World of Cheese in possession of the ball on their own 6-yard line. Spire demanding death. Tizzle Pizzle cheering for this Dark Elf defense. wants to see some more casualties. World of Cheese's formation has collapsed. They're down to just a handful of elves. And if they stay grouped up like this, all bunched up really tightly, they're gonna have to duke it out with this Dark Elf team and punch their way out. And the Dark Elf team, they're the punchier team. They'll be more than happy to engage on those terms. So the World of Cheese is gonna have to make something happen here, but they're in a tough spot. One die block against Rattler is gonna be a both standing result. Can't get anything out of this. Is he gonna try it again with Provolone? Yes, indeed, and that's going to be a skull. Spends a team reroll into a push. Provolone pushes Rattler aside. 2 rerolls remaining for the World of Cheese. Ajax the Right says, will we see a legal concede in the first half? Claphius asks, does anybody on either team have Mighty Blow on anyone? No, they do not. Hands off. Oh, how do you pronounce that? I'm not familiar with that cheese. Chevre? The number 6 catcher. Hands off to Asiago here. A handoff is just a catch, so you just make a catch roll for the person receiving the handoff. In this case, that's 2+. And trades places with the number 6 catcher. Both are level 2, both with the dodge skill. Sophiel, the number 7 journeyman, takes a mark against Sidewinder on the right side. Turn 5 now for the Snakes. The Snakes with a number of blocks to take, and they're taking them. Second block's going to be a both standing result. Tried to knock down the front of the cage. Now they're going after the the right side of the cage. They're going to get a knock or a push out of this. So the Elven Union staying on their feet as they desperately try to protect their ball carrier, but there's the mark on Asiago. 2 die block against Welma. The number 8 journeyman gets a push. The elves staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. 2 die blitz. Gets the pow on Asiago. Well done. There's the armor break. No removal, but the ball's going to bounce out of the scrum off to the left side. It is now on the 4-yard line for the World of Cheese. 2 die block against the star player. That's a POW. The star player only has an AB of 8+, but no armor break here. I like how briefly rat number 3 had the star. that was his little moment of fame. Good recovery here by Black Mamba number 2. And now the defense in possession of the ball. Black Mamba with plenty of movement remaining. And we'll move 1 space forward to the opposing 6-yard line. Decides to move a little bit more now. Oh, got greedy with the rush. Spent a reroll. The Snakes down to 1 reroll. They have the ball on the opposing 16-yard line now. They have to cover the right side, and that's how they do it. They're going to cover the right side here with a mark by Cottonmouth number 2 on Welma, the journeyman. Still a 2+ dodge away, but now Welma really has to go the long way around to get a mark on the Witch Elf. Anybody else get there? Let's see. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be a 2 die block on the Witch Elf. The Witch Elf is a blodger, however. So the World of Cheese would need a pal to knock down Black Mamba number 2. But they could get Welma, and they could get the catcher onto the ball here. They'd have to make a couple of dodges, but they'd be 2+ dodges. Yeah, there's one. There's the first mark. There are the dodges. 2-die blitz. Gets a push. Will he re-roll it? He is going to re-roll it. Hunting for the PAL. Got the PAL against Black Mamba. An 8+ breaks armor. Armor break would have been huge. Doesn't get the armor break. And now I think we're going to see a 1 rush. Yep, to get next to the ball. There it is. Is he going to dare to pick it up? No. Turn 6 now for the Snakes. Remember, the Witch Elf can block from prone. She'd have to succeed a die roll first. But doesn't need to spend the blitz here. Might just do it to try to score. Let's see. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'd be no problem. 2-die block way over in the right wide zone back near the line of scrimmage. That is another armor break. Gets a stun here. Blitz on the right side of the ball. Gets the knockdown against Welma the Journeyman. Again, looking for an 8+. Got another armor break. No removal. Stuns are pretty good this late in the half. And now the assist for the stand-up block by Black Mamba number 2. We'll have to pass a die roll first in order to make this block happen. Cleffy says stun is probably almost as good as a removal. Yeah, there's that failed jump up roll. Spends the reroll. Now can take the block. Got the PAL. Oh man, another armor break. And got the removal. 5-man player advantage for the Dark Elves. Turn 7 coming up for the World of Cheese. Yeah, stun is pretty good at this late stage because they'll be out for turn 7. Turn 8, they're going to lose 3 MA. So for Hork and Heartripper, for example, that brings them down to a 4. But more importantly, losing that turn means your opponent gets free positioning where you can't react to them. Turn 7 now for the World of Cheese. They've got 1 reroll remaining. They've got nobody that can get on this ball. They've lost their thrower for the game. They've lost a catcher and a blitzer. Turn 7 for the Snakes. They'll stall this out till turn 8. They're going to try to murder some elves. Once you have such a significant player advantage, depending on the state of the game and the score and what you're trying to achieve, it becomes less of a hard sell to just start fouling players. Because you already have such a significant player advantage, you're not terribly concerned if one of your players gets called off the pitch. All Gamer Mike says, poor elves, this has been a bad week for them. I think it's always a bad week for elves. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Elves are always getting hurt. But despite getting hurt, they still score a lot. Fails the ball pickup with the Witch Elf. And the ball's going to bounce 1 space forward to the 20. Final turn of the first half for the World of Cheese, anyway. they have an opportunity. They could punt this ball theoretically. Clevy says that would be so many dice. And have you no faith in the great Lord Nuffle? Oh, Gamer Mike says to be fair, if I was down 5 players, I'd start fouling just to protect my players. 50-50 dodge. Succeeds on the free dodge reroll. Can't free reroll this. Would have to use a team reroll. Oh, why not use the team reroll there? It's turn 8. Hung on to a team reroll. Turn 8 for the Snakes. Do they have any block? They have 1 block to take. They'll 2 blocks to take. Oh, they have no rerolls left. I think they're just going to pick this ball up. Try to pick this ball up anyway. Oh, he is going to roll some dice. Here we go. 2-die blitz against Horkin. Heart Ripper gets a push. 2-die frenzy follow-up is the knockdown. Wow. Wow. What a play. Said, you know what? I've got no rerolls, but I've got a target on the star player. Got the removal, the permanent removal, and got 2 SPP for the Cavs. And there's the ball pickup, and the Stakes will take the lead in this ball game 1-0. Very, very well done. Snakes in the lead, and they will start the second half on offense as well. Ajax says, legal concede. Come on, Moob. 2 KOs. Thankfully come back for the World of Cheese. I believe they're going to field 8. Indeed, they're going to field 8 on the pitch. So the NC Stakes will have a full 11 for the second half of this game. The World of Cheese are picking up just the 8. They've lost their star player as well. Horkin Heart Ripper will be out with an injury for the rest of the game. No catcher, I'm sorry, no thrower for the World of Cheese. I don't know how much they care on defense. Really on defense, they just want some bodies in their blitzers. Move says, apparently my team was saving up all the armor breaks I didn't get last game for this one. So it'll be a 3-man player advantage for the Snakes going into the second half here. Man, I discovered Pepsi Lime Zero Sugar. It is delicious. Delicious. Three on the line for the defense. A makeshift anchor for the defense. 5 on the line for the offense. And a full 6 can reposition here after the kick. Another short kick, this time to the 8-yard line. Clevy says Pepsi lies at zero sugar. No, Pepsi Lime. The fruit lime. Ball on the 10-yard line. Turn number 9 for the Snakes. Two-die on the left defensive end gets a push here against Sofiel. This is the number 7 journeyman. All 3 defensive linemen journeyman. Another two-die against Sofiel. Gets the knockdown here. Copperhead on the block. A two-die against the number 10 journeyman's a knockdown. All of these are an 8+ to break armor. Final block on the line will be a knockdown here against Welma. There's the armor break. There's the armor break. 4-man player advantage for the Snakes. Failed 2+ tick up pick up. Did spend the reroll here. Didn't want to mess around with the ball up on the 10-yard line. So the Snakes down to 2 rerolls for the game. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, "Hey, I thought Cyanide said they weren't implementing 7s." Tough break for James Lake Snacks in the World of Cheese. World of Cheese came into this game very, very banged up. They had their injured catcher. They had just nine on their roster, and 2 of them were injured. So just 7 rostered players going into this game. Had to pick up 4 journeymen. But that's just part of your life when you play an Elven team. Other than Dark Elves with the AV of 9+. Clive says, "I think they may have even less next game." James Lake Snacks taking a mark on the Fowler. Here's the 2-die blitz. Got the POW. Trying to get the Fowler off the pitch. Trying to even up the score, but couldn't break armor. Let's go. Let's go. Fouling the Fowler with 3 assists. Needed a 6+ roll to 5, but the ref saw nothing. No, the ref saw that. The ref clearly saw that, but just has a heart. He says, "All right, it's fine." The NC Snakes moving this ball across the line of scrimmage comfortably to the opposing 10-yard line. Tight cage on the opposing 10-yard line. 2-die block against the number 10 lineman. Where's the other? Oh, he's on the ground here. Six elves to play with now that the cage is set up. Clivey says, although he might have money to buy another player, Mr. Rocker Crocker replies he did have the money already. He seems to be saving something better. Yeah, he had, I think, $85K in the bank. And the catchers are $75K, I believe. Spire says, I don't think World of Cheese has gotten an armor break yet. Is that true? Oh, man, sometimes. Sometimes Nuffle has your number. Good 2+ dodge in the left wide zone to reposition back, not really near the cage, but keeping pace with the cage. Failed 3+ dodge. Works. Ever. Mark taking on the left side of the cage here. Handful of elves left to activate. 2 of them are catchers, but remember the catchers are a strength 3 on this roster. Unlike some of the faster catchers on, or fast catchers, I should say, on other teams, like a human catcher or a scathing gutter runner. With such a high player differential here, I have to imagine Moob's not going to stall. Wow, going for the big time dodge. Got the dodge! Got the pow! What a play! 5+ dodge to get the knockdown on Snake Plissken. The ball on the ground now on the 6-yard line. Trying to dodge away to recover the ball here. Good recovery by the defense. They now have the ball in the hands of Monterey Jack after a number of dodges. They're down to 1 reroll for the game. They have the ball on their own 2-yard line. Wow! Oh, man! So was going to rush again to try to protect the ball carrier. Failed the rush. Spent the final team reroll. Got through the loader roll on the journeyman. And then succeeded on the rush. No rerolls left for the Pro LFT and the Snakes. Now piling in for the inevitable blitz on the ball carrier. The ball carrier does have the block skill and has sidestep. Shame Stone, welcome to the stream. 2-die on Shever gets the pow here. Here's the blitz, 2-die blitz. That's just a push. Frenzy follow-up. Got the knockdown due to tackle. Oh no, and it's an oh no! Oh, the elf-manity! Oh, that's another removal. Oh boy, the NC Snake says, "Hey, do you enjoy carrying that ball for 14 seconds? Yeah, it's my ball. Don't touch it." Oh no. James Lake Snack says, "Are you not entertained?" I am. The Snakes will recover the ball and bring that right back to the 10-yard line here. World of Cheese had to try something big to recover that ball, and boy, did they. Two-die block on Asiago gets the push here. Clayface asks, is there anyone who's just badly hurt? That's serious injury. That's badly hurt. Oh no, that's a head injury. There you go. And now the Snakes on the bonus clock. They're down to 6:09. Turn 11 for the World of Cheese. They've got six players on the pitch. Two-die blitz. Got the pow on rat number 3. Will Nuffle grace us with an armor? No. With an armor break? I love those dice, though, man. This might be my favorite dice in this whole game. World of Cheese staying in the ball game here and playing defense with 3 players currently back in front of the ball. Mr. Rocker Crocker praying to Nuffle as we all must do from time to time. What am I talking about? Every day. Every day. I don't want to incur Nuffle's wrath. Another 5+ dodge this time. Fails here with the catcher, but will stay on the pitch. Turn 12 for the NC Snakes. They have the ball on their own 12-yard line. They could walk the ball into the end zone should they choose to. Two-die blitz. Back against the number 10 Journeyman. Gets a push out of this. It's going to continue to take these blocks. Try to rack up some SPP. Speaking of racking up SPP, I think my opponent got 18, 20 SPP against me in my last game. Two-die block gets the number 7 Journeyman. Gets a pow here. Sidewinder on the block. In the entire history of the league, we have not seen a team tabled before. Yeah, there's a score. I don't know if I finished my thought earlier in the half, but I don't think Move wants to stall at all with such a significant player advantage. This is an opportunity to try to rack up some touchdowns. Touchdowns are great for SPP. They're also great for standing. Ajax the Riot said Duffel didn't care for my prayers. 11 on the pitch for the defense. Same 3-4-4 formation shifted to the right side here. 6 on the pitch for the offense. They've got 2 catchers, a blitzer, and 3 linemen. They have to put 3 on the line. And then they have anything they want to do with the other 3. You put a max of 3 here in these 7 squares on the line of scrimmage. I'm sorry, a minimum of 3 here on the line of scrimmage. A max of 2 in either wide zone. Everything else is fair game. 5 on the line, 1 back to receive. That's the blodger. Here's the kick. Kicked almost directly to the blodger. Come on, come on. Come on. Ref, come on. Listen, ref. Come on. Come on, where are you? Listen, you and I need to have a talk. Listen. You know how the game's going, man. You can't know. I heard you. I know. I know that player's an asshole. I get it, but you can't just take him off the pit. I know you're okay. All right. I'm just saying, man. So on the kickoff event, the officious ref sends off the number 10 lineman and double skulls on the line, because why not? You can see James like Snacks in the picture-in-picture. Griff's just like, Spire says, hey, it was an armor break. 5 remaining on the pitch for the Pro Elves. 6-man player advantage for the NC Snakes. 4th and final quarter begins. The Snakes with 1 re-roll remaining. Shamestone rooting for the Dark Elf defense. NC Snakes looking to pick up this ball and recover it. Let's try to score again in the game. I think Moob has their eyes or their gaze set on at least three touchdowns. If they play their cards right, maybe 4. We'll see if James Like Snacks can stop it. We'll see if James Like Snacks even attempts to stop it at this point. To James Like Snacks' credit, they've been in this game every single turn. Not pulling back and pulling players away to safety, just continuing to try to recover that ball. So I imagine they'll continue to do so here and try to stop the score any way they can. But boy, is it putting players in harm's way. That's all right. This is how you learn to play as a player, as a professional Blood Bowl player. If you're blue, this is the meat grinder. This is where you learn. Two plus dodge for the pickup. Fails the pickup, but the ball's gonna bounce one space backwards. Turn 13 for the world of cheese. Come on, Blue, it's your time to shine, buddy. You got this. You got this. Look at that. 12 of 12 dodges, 1 of 1 rushes. You got this, buddy. It doesn't count as learning if you're dead. Hey, even if you're dead, you might get signed on with the Necro team. Oh no. 1 die. Blitz is a skull. That's a turnover. Turn 14. Shapestone says, you're my boy, Blue. Blue, I think Blue just faked that. He's just like, oh no, I'm knocked down. Please don't hurt me. NC Snakes now with a 3-die block against Provolone. There's the armor break. Only gets a stun out of this. He's guaranteed he fouls that player. Good recovery to the handoff to Cottonmouth number 2. Trying to level up Cottonmouth. No guarantee on the foul. He's going to score. 3-0. I think that's a better play. Well done by the Snakes. Six-man player advantage for the Snakes as they're on defense, in air quotes, defense yet again. They're going to have 2 turns to try to get on the board one more time here. They're in the lead 3-0. They're going to win this game, but by how much is the question? Festoon says, I can see Moob finishing this season undefeated. Moob's an excellent coach, for sure. And again, just a tough match. I don't know if it's necessarily a tough matchup, but when you go into a game like already pretty beat up and you're up against a team that wants to beat you up again, it can be tough. It can be a rough situation to be in. Cease, welcome to the stream. Here's the kick. Cheering fans. Who got it? Who got it? Who got the cheering fans? The Snakes, of course they did. Black Mamba number 2 is going to pick up an extra point of armor value. She's up to 9. 2-9 block against Coral Reef number 2 is a push here on turn 14. Clifey says, what teams don't want to beat up elves, though? Fair enough. Pulling a catcher back to try to protect the ball. 2-9 block against rat number 3 is going to be a push. Stays put for the 2-die block to finish off the line blocks here. Gets the knockdown. Hey, it's an armor break! Hey! C says, is this some elf on elf action? It is. Oh my god. Blue! When it rains, it pours, man. Blue couldn't pick up the 2+ the 2+ ball pickup. Turn 15 for the Snakes. Oh man. Oh boy. That's right. Knuffle's just angry today. Fire says, old ham hands Blue. Here come the Dark Elves. Old ham hands. 2 rushes to take a mark on the backfield. Backfield pro elves. Here's the blitz. Rush blitz coming up. 2-die blitz. Gets a dodge push out of this. Follows up, marks the catcher. Turn 15 for the World of Cheese. Can they stop another touchdown? World of Cheese. With 90 seconds left on the clock here in turn 15. The nightmare is almost over. Two plus dodge to a 3+ pickup to a 2+ dodge. No problem. Let's go. Let's go. Pass that ball. Let's go. Short pass. I'm gonna die. Oh God. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Is Blue secretly a dark elf? Is that what's going on here? Is this what happened? Oh God. 2-9 block at the line of scrimmage on turn 16. Oh. Blitz to score. Here we go. 2+ pickup. Hey, no! Failed the pickup. There it is. Got it on the reroll. The Snakes increased their lead to 4-0. Oh, oh wow! The Dark Alpha's laughing too. Oh man. Oh boy. You know what? Nuffle's not going to end it. He's just going to be a timeout. 5 on the pitch for the World of Cheese. That's right. I'm sorry, James Lake Snacks. The new janky telestrator did it. I'm sorry. 5 on the line for the World of Cheese. Here we go. Let's see that timeout. Brilliant, Coach. Hey, the World of Cheese gets a reroll here for the final turn of the game. 2-9 block gets a wrestle down here, keeps the drive alive. Repositions for the 2-9 with the block tail. Gets a pal here, looking for 2 SPP. Doesn't get it. One more block on the line. 2-9 over on the right side. Got the pal here. If it's not an armor break, surely it's a GG foul. Oh, what a trooper. No foul to end the game. This one ends with the NC Snakes winning 4-0. Very well done. Congratulations to Moob. Oh, man. Boy. the pass to punt the ball down pitch. And the pro elf was just like, you know what? Let me just put that in the end zone for you. Oh, man. And the NC Snakes increase their lead here in Division A. They are 5-1-0. Congratulations once again to Move. Look at that TD differential. A 10+. Oh, very well played. Very, very well played. That was a lot of fun. You know what? Despite, I will point out here that World of Cheese still at the top of the leaderboard here in 4th place, despite having that really beat up team here in this matchup. Plays a great game of Blood Bowl. It was a lot of fun to watch, and props to James Like Snacks for not falling victim to a tilt and keeping this game going for all 16 turns. But you know what?